Healing Hands International was born out of need. In 1991, a professor, Dr. Randy Steger, saw hundreds of thousands who needed medical attention, reached out for help, and a ministry was born. Since that time, Healing Hands has distributed $75 million of aid to more than 70 nations. When a major disaster occurs, Healing Hands International provides intermediate and long-term recovery efforts, such as building clinics and schools, assisting orphanages, and in some cases, providing the tools necessary for livelihood.
The world has become, it seems like it's become a much more dangerous place, a challenging place in the last decade. There have been more disasters, more earthquakes, more hurricanes, more fires, flooding, and so we've kind of naturally taken on the role of disaster relief.
When a powerful earthquake shook the tiny country of Haiti, more than 200,000 were killed. Christians responded with more than $2 million in medical aid, tents, blankets, food, and clean water wells. When the earthquake and tsunami overwhelmed the people of Japan, Christians gave generously to help hundreds of thousands who do not know Christ.
Relationships are so important, and in a country like Japan, it's sometimes difficult to develop those relationships. But once again, when others have come and gone, Healing Hands has been there and has stayed.
25% of our world has no source of clean water. 15% go to bed hungry every night. For many, the primary task of each day is survival. Water is our most precious commodity. Without it, none of us can survive. On average, most of us can live less than a week without water. But even when water is plentiful, it can be deadly. Waterborne diseases claim the lives of 1.4 million people every year. Since 2001, Healing Hands International has provided more than 500 clean water wells in 11 nations, saving the lives of over 1 million people and enabling us to open the doors for spreading the gospel.
Water is such a wonderful commodity. It connects people with the love of Jesus. When that drilling rig pulls into a village and it's noisy and it begins drilling for water, people come from miles. They know what it is, and the results are immediate.
Hunger claims millions of lives in developing countries. Famine is relentless when drought depletes growth and where food preservation is unknown. In places like Kenya, Uganda, Haiti, Honduras, and Zimbabwe, Healing Hands International is teaching hundreds of food preservation workshops, enabling people to grow enough food to sustain life year-long, and then teaching them how to preserve food even during seasons of drought.
We have a number of people that have left our workshop and went home and done 10 raised beds, 16 raised beds, even one lady I know that has done 48 raised planting beds after attending our workshop. Part of our mission, again, is this multiplying effect as we train people and they train other people.
Healing Hands is envisioning bringing people to Christ and also helping them to live on earth a better life. Once you are able to solve their physical needs, definitely they will trust you with their spiritual needs.
As we say at Healing Hands, first the bread, then the bread of life.
Our main mission is to empower people with the skills, the education, the training that they need to take care of themselves sustainably.
Through a ministry called Women Worth a Million, women in the United States join with their sisters around the world. Healing Hands has developed a Christian-based manual to be used specifically as a resource for women in developing countries. In Mozambique and Ghana, for example, women are using natural resources to make products which are useful and marketable. Women Worth a Million is dedicated to empowering women living in underdeveloped countries, providing education, resources, skills, and opportunity. By empowering women, we equip them to change the next generation.
Many of the women, once they get that income, the first thing they do with it is send their kids to school. And it's so exciting because then that's going to change the whole culture, starting with those kids getting an education.
Education always makes a difference, but many developing countries lack the skills to adequately teach their children how to survive their harsh world.
If you want to change a culture, it's got to be with the children, and it has to be through education.
Beginning in Haiti, Dr. Bobby Saleh and her associates are training teachers in the latest teaching methods and with real classroom aids, such as books, blackboards, and writing instruments.
that this is not about me, and it's not about those backpacks, and it's not about the books. It's about showing God's love to these children. So if we don't do anything else but let them know that there's a God out there who loves them and be able to read in order so they can read the Bible, then we will have been successful.
And finally, Magi. Happiness is the outgrowth of many things. In his infancy, our Lord was given many gifts by those who visited him. Children everywhere are excited to receive something of their very own. Toys, soap, toothpaste, new clothing, and their very own candy.
And you see the smile, the joy, and it opens up a window into their hearts.
Through the Magi experience, Healing Hands International has served in countries like Honduras, Zambia, India, Mexico, and Romania. The children learn that these gifts come to them because of the greatest gift ever given, our Lord Jesus. And the lives of families are changed forever through the power of giving and receiving.
By establishing relationships and meeting people's basic needs, we know that we're really touching people's hearts and then opening their minds to receive the gospel of Jesus Christ. You see, in this ministry, we subscribe to the basic principle that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
For the cost of one meal, you can provide the necessary training and resources to feed an entire family for a lifetime. By providing one well, you can provide water for thousands of men, women, and children in need of clean water. Your gifts to Healing Hands will enable us to empower women and teachers to change the next generation, send immediate emergency aid for the next world disaster, or to provide the medical tools necessary to save someone's life. For 2 decades, Healing Hands International has assisted people in more than 70 nations while encouraging the faithful teachings of the good news of Christ. With your help, this great work can continue. Will you take advantage of this opportunity?